It is no news that Germany is in dire need of skilled workers and even reported to have a shortage of over 400,000 skilled workers. Now, as a way to continue to improve the immigration possibilities of these needed skilled workers, Germany has now introduced the Opportunity Card, aka CHANCEKARTE. So in this video, I'll be telling you what the Opportunity Card is, the requirements for the Opportunity Card, how the point system works, the documents that you'll be needing for application, and how to apply for the Opportunity Card. First, this is a disclaimer. I'm not an immigration officer or immigration lawyer or anything like that. The information here is based on information available that I have been able to gather. With that out of the way, what is the Opportunity Card? This is a one-year visa that allows non-EU citizens to move to Germany in search of full-time employment. Now, while you're waiting to find that full-time employment, you can take up part-time work up to 20 hours a week. And this Opportunity Card will be launched by June 2024. To make this a bit more relatable, the Opportunity Card is somewhat similar to the Canadian points-based system, and we'll get to the points-based part of it in a bit. Now, what are the requirements to apply for the Opportunity Card? First and foremost, there are two parts to the Opportunity Card. I mean, there are two ways to getting the Opportunity Card. For the first part, the requirements are, first, having your qualifications fully recognized by the German government. Now, this recognition might take a bit of time. I learned it could take about 3 months to a year, depending on the qualification itself. So this might seem to be the shortest path because you just have two requirements really, but it could take some time. In any case, I put the link to getting your qualifications recognized in the description box, so you can check that out. Now, the second requirement is proof of funds. Of course, anytime you're moving to Germany, they need to be sure that you can take care of yourself, in case you don't find a job as soon as possible, or for whatever reason, you need to be able to prove that. Now, for proof of funds, there are two things. You can either provide the blocked account, which, if you have been on my channel for a bit, you already know what a blocked account is, but just for refresher's sake, the blocked account is simply an account that you open. It's opened here in Germany. You don't have to be here to open it, of course. You open it over on the internet. It's opened and you fund this account. When you then get to Germany, you would unblock it, and then the money will be sent to you monthly until the 12 installments, which is for 1 year, until that is exhausted. Currently, the blocked account money is 11,208 euros. So that would come to about 935 euros if my maths is correct. So that's what will be given to you every month from that blocked account. Now, the second option of proof of funds would be to get a part-time job. If you are able to find part-time employment already before you come into the country, of course, then the contract can serve as your proof of funds. Now, it's a little bit difficult to find work outside of Germany, to be honest. If you're not in the IT field, it's a bit difficult, to be very honest. But as far as I know right now, there's a collaboration going on with CHANCENKARTE.de. CHANCENKARTE.de is not an official website from the government, but it seems to have a lot of good information on this Opportunity Card, and they're trying to liaise with local businesses to be able to provide jobs, to individuals who might want to take up these part-time employment. So, because if you're in Germany here, it's easy to just see some of these openings. Maybe you see them on the road, on the storefront, or you talk to a friend and you hear about it, just random places like that. But if you're abroad, it's a little bit difficult. Anywho, those are the two options for proof of funds. So any other place you hear proof of funds, these are the options that you have. So this path is pretty straightforward. Like I said, once you have your documents fully recognized, you already have 6 points. And for the Opportunity Card, you need a minimum of 6 points. So if you have your certificates, your qualifications done, that gives you 6 points automatically. So you're already crossed the threshold, and you can move on from there. Now to the second path. Now, with the second path, you remember I told you the opportunity card is a points-based system. Now, with this points-based system, you are basically going to be collecting points from 4 categories, and your total point should be a minimum of 6 points. Of course, you can have more than 6 points, but a minimum of 6 points is what is expected of you. Now, there are certain categories that you must get points in. You cannot get 0 in these categories. I'm going to tell you that as soon as we get there. Now, the 4 categories where you can collect points from are education and experience, language skills, age, and previous ties to Germany. Now, let's start with the first category, which is education and work experience. So if you have a qualification that is partially recognized by the German government, you get 4 points. Remember, in the last path, if your qualification is fully recognized, then you don't need to do any other thing. You're already good. You can already apply for the opportunity card. But in this one, now if you have a partially recognized qualification, then you already have 4 points. So you need to gather the other points. You get it? Next, if your qualification is not recognized, so you didn't go through the process of trying to have your qualification recognized. So if that is not recognized, but you have 5 years or more of work experience within the last 7 years, then you get 3 points. If you only have 2 or more years of work experience within the last 7 years, you get 2 points. Now, as an additional point, you get 1 point if your qualification is in the bottleneck profession. So these bottleneck professions are like the professions where you have shortage, where we really have shortage. So for example, the medical field, the engineering field, IT, and so on and so forth. I'll put a link to a site where you can see the official list of the bottleneck professions. So if you are within these professions, you get an extra point. Now, in this category, you have to have a point. You cannot not have a point. You cannot have 0 in this category. If you have 0, you are automatically disqualified. It means you do not qualify at all for the opportunity card. So here, you must get a point. The next category is the language skill. Now, if you have B2 German and above, you get 3 points. If you have B1 German, you get 2 points. If you have A1 to A2 German, so it means you could be A1.2, A2.1, A2.2, you get the gist. You get 1 point. And you get an additional point if you have C1 level of English. Now, this category is another category where you must get a point. You cannot not have a point. You must have points. If not, you're automatically disqualified from this. The next category is age. If you are younger than 35, you get 2 points. If you are between 35 and 40, you get 1 point. Now, this is the category where you don't have to have a point. So it means that if you're older than 40, it doesn't mean you're disqualified. It just means that you don't get points in this category. So you're good. The next category is your ties to Germany. If you have stayed legally in Germany for a minimum of 6 months as a non-tourist in the past 5 years, then you get 1 point. Now, this is another category where you do not have to get a point. So it means even if you have not been in Germany for the length of 6 months, it doesn't matter. You just don't get a point in this category. Now, when I say minimum of 6 months, it means minimum of 6 months at a time. So it's not like you came for 3 months, then you left, then you came back maybe 2 months later, and then you did another 2 weeks. That's not it. It has to be 6 months at a stretch. Now, as an additional point, if you are married and your spouse is also applying for the opportunity card to, wants to move as well with the opportunity card, then you get an extra 1 point, because what is better than 1 skilled workers? 2. So after getting all those points, you've gathered everything. The next requirement is the proof of funds, just like the first path. You also need to prove that English. You also need to prove that you can take care of yourself, either by the 11,208 euros blocked account or by part-time employment. Now, if you haven't given this video a thumbs up, this would be a good time to do so. Now, what documents do you need? Aside from your passport, CV, which are pretty standard. You have to provide a proof for everything that you claim to have. So if you claim to have B1, B2, whatever in any language, in any language, in German, or C1 as the case may be in English, you have to prove this. You need to prove it with a recognized certificate. If you claim that your qualification is fully recognized by the German government, you need to prove that it is fully recognized, which means you have gone through the recognition process. You've gotten a certificate that tells you, that confirms that yes, this is fully recognized. If it's a partially recognized certificate, it has to prove that it has been partially recognized. Then whatever qualifications you have, of course, you need to prove certificates for these qualifications. If you are married, you need to bring your marriage license, your marriage certificate. So everything that you claim to have, you just need to have something to back it up, certificate to back it up, or a license to back it up, whatever it is. How do you apply for the opportunity card? Just like with any visa application, you need to apply through the German embassy in the country that you live in. However, if you are from a country that don't require you to get a visa to come into Germany for at least 90 days, for example, you're from America, for example, you then can come to Germany, and then within the 90 days, you can apply at the Ausländer Behörde within the city that you live in. So I hope this video has been helpful, and till I see you next time, do have a fantastic day. Bye.